Feed your goat. Goats need food, just like any other animal, to survive. What to feed it, however? How do you do it? Here is how to feed your goat. The diet. Since goats are ruminants, possess 4 stomachs, they need a diet high in fiber. This helps the bacteria in the stomachs digest their food properly. Goats tend to eat more from bushes and trees rather than on grass, but will take a bite out of almost everything. They are also especially fond of tree bark. Their diet also consists of minerals, hay, grain, a pasture seed mix, made up of a special combination of seeds, and food scraps. In turn, they must avoid any poisonous plants, paper, cigarettes, and never give them dog or cat food. They also enjoy raisins, slices bread, and corn chips, but do not give them a lot. They can be used as treats. Feeding your goat. Goats are easy enough to feed. Choose a strong, sturdy, and immobile feeder for them to use. It has to be this way so that it does not break while the animals feed. Make stations for your goats to feed in individually. This helps you keep track of each goat's food intake. You can even train them to go to their stations. The one thing you want to avoid is the goat soiling the food or the feeder, so make sure they cannot get into it as well. Just place the food in the feeder and lead the goats in. Make sure your goats do not eat too quickly, or else they could choke on their food. You can put something heavy in the middle so that goats have to eat around it, but always be ready to jump in and save your goat from choking to death. Its feeding schedule will really depend on what the goat does during the day. For example, goats used for milking generally have to eat more than those that aren't. Other important reminders. Goats will eat your flowers and trees, so be careful where you leave them, or else you could be saying goodbye to your bed of roses. If you hear your goat sneezing, don't be alarmed, since they only use it as their natural warning for any signs of danger. Young goats, meanwhile, sneeze because they are playful, so you must learn to distinguish the difference. If you want to move your goat, you have to pull them. Pushing them gets you nowhere. Despite being one of the friendliest animals around, you should avoid petting a goat on the top of its head, especially if it does not know you well enough. They like being scratched under their arms and on their chests. Also, make sure their shelter is strong and sturdy, giving them ample protection from the environment. Feeding your goat correctly may not seem like much of a challenge, but it actually really is. You need to be monitoring what they eat every time they feed. Take care of your goats well enough, and they should become strong and healthy.